Tonight on SUTV News, students take a seat in someone else's chair.
And get the latest on the per-credit tuition saga.
All that and more right now. Thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Avery Quinn.
And I'm Isabella Marcelino. Student leaders gave up walking yesterday to take part in the wheelchair project. SUTV's Marshall Keeley documented the experience.
Shippensburg students were on a roll yesterday, raising awareness of handicap accessibility on campus.
It really focuses on bringing light to how inaccessible campus is and how hard it is for anybody with a physical disability to get around campus.
While most buildings do have handicap accessible areas, the handicap accessible areas are usually ramps, and the ramps are actually they're steeper than what you actually would believe so.
The project's aim? For participants to experience the obstacles wheelchair-bound people face on a regular basis.
How uneven the sidewalks are, sidewalks you're supposed to be nice and straight, but they're going like this, and I feel like I'm gonna tip over one way.
Something that happened to me earlier was that I got a cup of coffee, but I realized that I couldn't carry the cup of coffee with one hand, and I spilled it all over myself. It's like, oh man.
When the day was done, participants shared their experiences, APB's effort at promoting change.
How was your day today? What have you learned? What can you take away from this experience, from your own personal experiences, and just the day in general?
Getting into classrooms is definitely a challenge. The doors aren't as big as they seem, and just trying to find a place in the classroom where you're still a part of the classroom, but you're not totally being disruptive.
Students gained a new respect for the difficulties of a life in a wheelchair.
Just how hard it was, and just really shedding light on how difficult it is for anybody with a physical disability to get around this campus.
For SUTV News, I'm Marshall Keeley.
SHIP is working to improve handicap accessibility. The stairs between Shippen Hall and Huber Arts Center are set to be removed and replaced by a ramp. A group of students braved the shave on Tuesday for childhood cancer research. SHIP hosted its first Shave the Ship event to raise funds for the St. Baldrick's organization, a foundation raising money for childhood cancer research with the initiative to go bald. Students signed away their hair to show support for children who lose theirs when going through treatment. The shavees were men and women with personal connections to cancer. An audience formed in front of the Cub Amphitheater, spreading messages of hope for their peers affected by the disease. SHIP's efforts raised just over $2,000.
SHIP got a jump on today's Earth Day celebration. The university has been holding events all week to promote stewardship. Hayden Kephart has the story.
The Shippensburg University Environmental Club has been busy all week holding events for Earth Day. Yesterday, there were tents with food, entertainment, and hands-on activities in front of the library.
Stewardship Week is actually an extension of the Earth Day celebration that we started years ago here at SHIP. We decided that instead of just a single day devoted to the planet, we'd make it an entire week and expand the activities not only to here on campus, but to the college farm and all the way out to the facilities that we've put in, which have really reduced our carbon footprint. So it's a way to expand awareness about a really important issue, the issues of climate change.
There were many students showing their passion and support for the environment.
We're running the bicycle-powered Potter's Wheel just to let people know how much energy it takes to run an electric motor, so the bicycle powers the wheel. We also have a bicycle-powered smoothie, which the Art and Design Department built. It's running the smoothie setup with Chartwell's, our dining services, and we have some of the solar cooking apparatus here too, just to show people the power that the sun has.
The Middle Spring Watershed Association, spreading awareness about local streams to students, professors, and staff, also took part. For SUTV News, I'm Hayden Kephart.
Stewardship Week continued today on the campus farm from 12 p.m. to sundown. There will be a community cleanup this Saturday starting at 8:30 a.m. on Orange Street. Shippensburg undergrads can expect to see tuition changes next semester. The university is switching to a new per-credit program for undergrad students. President Harpster sent out an email to all Shippensburg students today explaining the program and its effect on students. Full-time undergrad students will now have to pay tuition per credit as the graduate and part-time undergraduate students already do. If you will be taking 12 credits next semester, it will cost $3,288. And if you will be taking 15 credits, it will cost $4,110, which will keep you on track to graduate in 4 years. Overall, each 3-credit class will now cost $822. Contact the Student Accounts Office if you have any questions.
Heroin abuse is a worldwide epidemic. According to the Foundation for a Drug-Free World, almost 10 million people abuse the drug. We aren't immune in small-town USA. Haley Luke has the story.
That's something I'm never going to do.
Mark McCullough never imagined his life would be overcome by addiction.
We'll just start with the alcohol, and then I ended up shooting heroin. Now tell me how that happens to a normal person, or a perceivably normal person.
Heroin doesn't discriminate.
People are coming to find now that with the heroin epidemic, that it's our brothers and sisters and family members, sons and daughters. So it's not just some guy who lives under a bridge anymore.
80% of heroin addicts get hooked after being prescribed narcotics. Mark did after having facial surgery.
And that's when that opened up, I guess, Pandora's box, if you will, and led me down that road, which I had never really gone down before then.
A road which led him into some legal trouble and house arrest.
And I couldn't drink, and I couldn't smoke pot because I was being drug tested. So from the knowledge that I had about drugs is that, well, I know that if I do an opiate, that'll be out of my system in 3 days.
But an addict's plan can backfire.
Started shooting up, using intravenously. That didn't really last too long. I remember I got off house arrest, and I ended up overdosing 2 days later.
For Mark, his 2013 overdose was the last push to get clean.
Remanded to York County Prison for violation of probation. And then I went to treatment, and I've been clean ever since. So life's a lot different today.
He is now a recovery specialist for the RAISE Project in Carlisle, an advocacy program for anyone seeking help from addiction.
Come to the RAISE Project, we can either get them into treatment, we'll refer them to a place where they can go, or we can engage them in one of our programs.
Mark has been clean for 3 years and says the answer to getting clean starts with getting help so you can help yourself.
It's about building your life around your recovery, not building your recovery around your life.
He says rehab is tough, but the tough times make life easier in the end. For SUTV News, I'm Haley Luke.
If you or anyone you know is struggling with addiction like Mark, please go to SUTV.com for more information about how you can help. Getting settled at college can be challenging, and if that college is far from home, it can be daunting. Global Village is here at SHIP to help with the transition. Global Village is a fairly new club on campus aimed at aiding SHIP's international students with the culture shock of coming to the United States.
So have fun activities like different games that people could, everything is just to create that interaction between international students and American students.
Global Village's last meeting of the year is next Friday at 3:30. Enjoy intercultural activities, food, and fun. When we come back, a paraglider finds himself in a shocking situation.
And NASA gives us new perspective on natural phenomenon. Stay with us. A deadly suicide bombing in the heart of Afghanistan.
And an explosion on a city bus in Israel. Here's your world news.
On Tuesday, a suicide attack in the Afghani capital of Kabul killed 28 and injured more than 200. The Taliban claimed responsibility for the attack, targeting a security office for top government officials. A truck bomber detonated in a parking lot behind the compound, destroying the back wall of the building. A second attacker then entered the building, engaging in a gun battle with security forces. The commander of NATO forces in Afghanistan said these attacks are a sign of Taliban weakness. 21 people were injured Monday after an explosion inside a city bus in Jerusalem. Israeli police are calling the explosion a deliberate act. The Israeli president and prime minister aren't hesitating in calling the incident a terrorist attack. The office of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released photos allegedly showing people handing out candy to celebrate the blast. Netanyahu vowed to hold the terrorists accountable for their actions. A close call for a Vancouver paraglider caught in power lines on Monday evening. The man in his 50s said he intentionally landed on the power lines because he did not want to hit any vehicles or be struck by oncoming traffic. The paraglider was left dangling for more than an hour before crews arrived to shut down the power. The paraglider was lowered to the ground and walked away unharmed. And finally, NASA has released stunning high-definition video of the Aurora Borealis and Aurora Australis shot from the International Space Station. The Aurora Borealis can be seen at high northern latitudes, hence the nickname Northern Lights. The Aurora Australis is visible in extreme southern latitude areas like Antarctica, Chile, and Australia. Both occur when electronically charged subatomic particles in Earth's magnetic field collide with neutral atoms in the upper atmosphere. That's it for this week's World News. I'm Marshall Keeley.
From Neil Sedaka to Donald Trump.
Here's this week's Slate Preview.
News covers the Trump rally in Harrisburg. ShipLife highlights Earth Day events on campus. Sports follows up on Neely Spence Gracie's Boston Marathon run. Opinion has ideas on how to deal with stress during finals week, and entertainment reviews Neil Sedaka. Check out the Slate on newsstands on Tuesday and keep up all week on theslateonline.com. I'm Thomas Whitmer.
When we come back, Drew gives us her weekly weather forecast.
And some SHIP students put a new spin on an old tradition.
After weeks and weeks and weeks, I think spring finally feels like spring.
You can say that again. Let's go to Drew for her forecast.
Tomorrow is Earth Day, and Mother Nature is turning up the heat in honor of her day. Tonight, occasional rain showers with a low of 55. Tomorrow, thunderstorms throughout the day and evening with a high of 76. In the 5-day, a nice weekend ahead with partly sunny skies and a high of 68 Saturday. A beautiful Sunday with clear sunny skies and a high of 73. Mostly sunny skies with a high of 82 to start your week off, and rain showers Tuesday with highs in the mid-70s. Wednesday, back to beautiful weather with partly sunny skies and a high of 70. Be sure to get outside and enjoy the weather, and have a great weekend.
Welcome to Entertainment. I'm Bernadette Koff. After decades of Raiderfest traditions, Glow Rage paints a new picture at Shippensburg University. Julia Wiegand has more.
Raiderfest went away from our fundamental purpose of APB as a social programming body for students, and Raiderfest became really an outdoor children's fair.
Glow Rage gave APB the chance to bring the intent of the party back to the students. Paint party, that is.
It's better serving the need of a late night activity that doesn't involve alcohol, that we can have positive social behavior and still have a wild, crazy time while we're doing it.
Glow Rage will be held in the Cub MPR tomorrow night from 9 to 1. For SUTV Entertainment, I'm Julia Wiegand.
Don't forget about Black Lights and Paint. Rage in a white t-shirt and whatever else you don't mind getting paint all over. If you have a soft spot for fairy tales and Disney movies, keep your calendar open for this Saturday. The Little Princess Playhouse is presenting a double feature. The talented actors will be performing The Wizard of Oz and Rapunzel. The Playhouse is in Stewart Hall, room 100, and admission is $4. The first play begins at 10. For more times, check out sutvnews.com, keyword princess. Enjoy a nice night out with a well-harmonized musical group, Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers. This group has been capturing hearts for 60 years with the help of their well-known song, All the Gold in California.
The Gatlin Brothers are three brothers, that Larry, Rudy, and Steve, who have been performing for 60 years, literally started as children, performing country and gospel music.
Come be dazzled by their performance tonight starting at 8 in the Lourdes Performing Arts Center. Music legend Prince is dead at age 57. He was found this morning in his Minnesota studio. Last Thursday, after a show in Atlanta, Princess Plane made an emergency landing after he complained of flu-like symptoms. He was cleared to perform Friday night. Police are still investigating his cause of death. That's all we have for entertainment this week. I'll see you here next Thursday.
When we come back in sports, the Raiders football team held their annual spring scrimmage.
Also, Shippensburg alumni Neely Space Gracie finished in the top 10 position at the Boston Marathon.
The Red Raiders tested their strengths and weaknesses last weekend. Ray Shungle has more.
You couldn't have asked for a sunnier Saturday at the yearly red-white spring football game. Running back Culture Papali on the white team scored the game's only touchdown with a 24-yard run after a pass from wide receiver Brady Forney. Quarterback Ryan Zapaticki, sporting a yellow jersey, finished 17 of 24 for 275 yards. The red team's defense put up a fight, holding the white team's offense to 306 yards for the game. Linebacker Tyler Emge led the red team in tackles with a total of 9. The spring game ended with the white team taking a victory of 13-3 over the red team. Ray Shungle, SCTV Sports.
The Red Raiders will start their season on September 3rd, taking on American International in Springfield, Massachusetts. Junior Curon Sutton was named PSAC's Men's Outdoor Track Athlete of the Week. Sutton broke Shippensburg's oldest school record in the 10K as he ran it in 29 minutes and 42 seconds. Sophomore Drew Adagabi won both the 100 and 200 meter while setting a new school record in the 200.
Very consistent, very strong athlete. Just getting better and better each week. He's very mechanical, and he told me he called it with the discus all-time PSAC record. He told me before he got off the bus. He said something's going to be good today. So he really is that tuned into what he's doing. So he's just a consummate hard worker, and the reward is coming now, obviously.
The team will start to prepare for PSAC championships at Mansfield May 12th. 2 weeks after her 26th birthday, Shippensburg alumna Neely Spence Gracie became the first American woman to cross the finish line at the 2016 Boston Marathon. It took her 2 hours and 35 minutes to cover the 26.2 miles, finishing in the top 10. Zach Salzgiver has the story.
Not Gracie's first taste of success, she was a 10-time NCAA All-American and 8-time NCAA National Champion. So to those who knew her, it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, it was really exciting to see a lot of Neely's hard work come together. She had a great career here at Shippensburg. She always was an incredible hard worker, so I knew that one day it would pay off for her. She's gotten really good guidance from her family. Obviously, her father has been a big influence on her life, but she's just a really dedicated athlete who, had certain goals and achieved those goals, and it was great to see her put them all together and be the top American finisher at Boston this year.
Neely's mother and father saw their daughter cross the finish line in person.
My wife and I, to see Neely compete and finish in her first marathon, we were very happy to be up there to be able to support her.
Her father was more than a cheerleader. Spence was part of the 1992 Olympic marathon team in Barcelona and has been coaching Neely her whole life.
Yeah, just like her dad. And it's been a great relationship between her father and her. He was a great coach for her when she was here at Shippensburg, and obviously he's giving her some great advice now along with her coaches that she has.
Coaching was key in Neely's success, but her work ethic is what defines her.
I know the hard work that goes into it, and it's just a lot of work, looking at a year out, getting ready for a marathon, and in the last 12 weeks is very intensive. And it was great to see everything pay off for her and for her to meet her goal of top 10 and 235.
Neely will continue to work, and now after Boston, she is reaching higher.
Her ultimate goal is to eventually make an Olympic team, and I think that her best shot will be in the marathon, and she's looking toward 2020.
With Tokyo in sight for the 2020 Summer Olympics, Neely will look to improve on her time and for a little bit of luck.
It only comes every 4 years, and you only get a couple shots at it. So, so hopefully she'll get lucky and she'll be on that year and she'll be healthy and ready to go. But she could be the best runner in the world in 2019. And if she's not on at the Olympic trials in 2020, she's just a little off. She's not going to make the team.
If the past is any indicator, look for Spence Gracie to be leading the pack 4 years from now. For SUTV Sports, I'm Zach Salzgiver.
We would like to wish Neely luck as she chases her Olympic dream. That's it for sports. Let's head back over to the desk.
That's it for SUTV News. I'm Isabella Marcelino.
And I'm Avery Quinn. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and at SUTVnews.com.